So I'm going to make a battle report for an Island of Blood game. We're actually playing with two sets of Islands of Blood. So we got double the models here. So it's actually a pretty good sized game, points-wise. We rolled for mission number 5, which puts things in reserve on a diagonal deployment zone. So I got this unit of cavalry here, one Griffin, swordsman. Those guys are in reserve. And the other Griffin and the other unit of cavalry are in reserve. Over here we got all the big rat ogre units. 40 rats, one engineer, one poison wind mortar, one warlord, and everything else for him is in reserve. We rolled really bad. So I'm going to make my vanguard move, and we're going to start turn 1. So here we are. I finished my turn 1. I moved all my reserves on. I took some bow shots at them and did no wounds. My magic failed. She was out of range with her Lore of Life magic missile, and she got her fire spell dispelled because I was shooting at the clan rats, and it would be the 4d6. So she was out of range on Awakening of Woods, and she missed or got canceled on the Piercing Bolt of Burning against the big unit, which would have done a lot of good damage. So that's it. Going on to Skaven turn 1. So here, Skaven turn 1. The Rat Ogres failed their charge against the Griffin. The Stone Thrower came over here and killed 5 guys here. Even though he hit right on the middle, and between wounds and saves, he was only able to kill 5. So yeah, the Warp Lightning did a wound on the Griffin. So going on to High Elf turn 2. So here at the end of a very long High Elf turn 2. In Magic phase, I miscast and killed a whole bunch of guys there, but I killed the engineer, Whoopee. In Close Combat, both units of cavalry charged the Rat Ogres. I lost 1 unit and then overran the Rat Ogres with failed leadership. These guys both failed the charge distances, and now we're going on to Skaven turn 2. To the end of a very short Skaven turn 2. The Warlord failed his charge on the Griffin. Both stone throwers misfired. One destroyed itself, and the flame came short of hitting the cavalry. So, High Elf turn 3. Yep. So here at the end of High Elf turn 3, my one Griffin charged the Warlord, killed him, and was able to charge into the large unit of the Clan Rats, which that one had to charge against. So both Griffins got to fight the Clan Rats. They did 10 wounds and took only 2 wounds back, and they got overran. I did a lot of shooting and stuff at the engineer and failed to do any wounds. Those guys moved over there, and I forgot to shoot them. So yeah, going on to Skaven turn 3. So here in Skaven turn 3, the Clan Rats charged in there. Did no wounds, but between the ranks and the charging bonus and everything, they actually won, bypassed my leadership. He killed the Warlord before he could strike. Those took 2 flame wounds. And he shot down 2. He killed 2 of those guys. So yeah, going on to High Elf turn 4. On a 5, I don't think. So here at the end of High Elf turn 4. He did a flank attack on that unit of Clan Rats and wiped them out. He made those guys run away, but they got away, so he was just sitting there. Did no wounds to the Flamer. And these guys are just kind of hanging out. Oh, I did blow up the Warlock engineer, so yeah, go ahead and make the rally attempt. Yep, on a 5. We're still on the table. So you're going to call it a High Elf victory. All he's got left is those guys which failed to rally, and the 1 Flamer, and the 1 Mortar. I still have my full unit of Spearmen, most of those guys, and he has 1 wound, he has taken 2 wounds, got 3 guys there. So we're going to play another game, probably, and might do another battle report. So this is my second game of Fantasy. It was another High Elf victory. I have to start breaking out my vampire counts here real soon. Okay, so we play a second game. We might not get the whole game in because we're going to run out of time before they close. So we got the number 3 battle, the Hold the Pass. And we rolled up, since it's given our points disadvantage, we rolled up some random spells for the Warlock Engineers. And I got regen on the Sword Masters, and a magic missile over there. You got Lure Beast and you got the stupid spear thing. We'll see how that turns out. And so, Obviously goes first. You get a +1. 4. So you get to go first, and then I'm going to go make my Vanguard move, and we'll start turn 1. Okay, uneventful Skaven turn 1. I was able to cancel the big nasty spear, or dispel it, and the Warp Lightning did 1 wound over there, but I was able to make my save. And so that's it. That was a short Skaven turn 1, going on to High Elf turn 1. You get like 1 or 2 guys in.
Well, no, because once they hit, you warm up, you rank up.
But then you can't rank up because you didn't get to the other unit. And you have to stay an inch away from even your own side.
Yeah, but you move.
I move?
Yeah. You have. If I can't move to rank up, then you move to rank in. That's
so at the end of Skaven turn 1, those guys moved up. The bows from the horses killed the rock lava. Those guys flew up. These guys charged the engineer and killed him. But now they're in the middle of a whole bunch of Skaven. Oh, and I did 1 wound to here with my bows. And going on to Skaven turn 2. So here you are at the end of Skaven turn 1. These guys were able to charge in there, but only got a few guys in, and killed 3, made them run away, but I got away. That misfired, did nothing. Oh no, it didn't misfire, it scattered and only killed 1 guy. He's right there. These guys marched up over here. So we're going on to High Elf turn 2. Yes.
They need to rally.
Do they still, is going through other units and causing them to panic?
Yeah.
That's still in effect?
Yeah.
But they're in close combat, so I don't know how it's going to work. So anyway,
I don't think it affects the unit in close combat, but they're probably going to end up clipping that unit when they go by.
So anyway, at the end of High Elf turn 2, I got a multiple charge here against the Rat Ogres. I killed 1 and did a couple extra wounds, and I made them flee, but I rolled a double 1 to pursue. He failed his charge, and they got the flank charge there, but ended up with a drawn combat. And so yeah, and going on to Skaven turn 3. Yeah, so at the end of Skaven turn 3, he sniped the Griffin out of the air with his pistol.
Boom!
And he hit those guys, but with the rerolls, it didn't really make much difference. But it's still a drawn combat. And so yeah, going on to High Elf turn 3. And it'll probably be the last turn because we're going to have to get out of here soon. So at the end of the game, we're going to call it again because we're out of time. But those guys got wiped out from a combination charge, even though I lost all 4 horses on the charge. I was able to do enough wounds to make them flee and overran them. And so that would leave him with these guys right here. And I would still have a lot of stuff. So we're going to call it. We're out of time. Another High Elf victory. This set really isn't very balanced. And of course, that Always Strikes First is really freaking awesome.
Yeah, you should never have that.
So that's it for my second and third games of Warhammer Fantasy.